Reality isn't what it seems. Everything you've been taught about the physical world, that it's solid, predictable, and separate from you, is an illusion. What if I told you that your thoughts, your emotions, and your very awareness shape the universe around you? That the key to altering your reality isn't in external actions, but in the way you observe, believe, and feel. This isn't just spiritual philosophy. It's backed by the most mind-bending discoveries in quantum physics. The quantum field is an ocean of endless possibilities, and the way you interact with it determines which version of reality materializes for you. The observer effect, quantum entanglement, and the strange phenomenon of wave function collapse all point to one undeniable truth. Consciousness is the architect of reality. For centuries, mystics and spiritual leaders have hinted at this universal law, but today, science is beginning to catch up. When you understand this principle, you unlock the ability to shift your life instantly. Ancient traditions have always taught that matter is not fundamental. Consciousness is. The Upanishads speak of Brahman, the ultimate formless field from which everything emerges. Laozi, the sage of Taoism, described the universe as an ever-changing flow of energy shaped by intention. Fast forward to today, and quantum physicists are saying something eerily similar. The famous double-slit experiment reveals that particles behave differently when observed, meaning that your awareness actively participates in the creation of your world. This aligns with Carl Jung's theory of the collective unconscious, suggesting that all minds are interconnected in a vast informational web, much like quantum entanglement. But how does this translate into everyday life? The thoughts you think, the emotions you dwell on, and the beliefs you hold act as frequencies that interact with the quantum field. Dr. Masaru Emoto's water experiments prove that human consciousness can restructure molecular patterns. Imagine what this means for your own body, your environment, and even the opportunities that present themselves to you. If you could deliberately shift your mental state, you could rewrite the script of your life. This understanding is not just theoretical. It has practical implications. The law of attraction, often dismissed as wishful thinking, actually finds its foundation in quantum mechanics. What you focus on expands, and what you expect tends to materialize. The Sufi poet Hafiz once said, "The words you speak become the house you live in." But it's not just words. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions are constantly broadcasting signals into the quantum field, shaping your experience. So here's the question. If reality is not fixed, but fluid, if everything you experience is a projection of your consciousness, what are you creating at this very moment? More importantly, what could you create if you understood how to align with the hidden laws of the universe? Lynn McTaggart, in her groundbreaking book The Field, The Quest for the Secret Force of the Universe, explores how everything is connected by an invisible energy field. She presents compelling scientific evidence that thoughts are not confined to the brain. They extend outward and interact with the world. Her research confirms what spiritual traditions have been saying for centuries. We are not separate from the universe. We are shaping it in every moment. This means that transformation doesn't have to be gradual. When you shift your perception, you shift your reality. The quantum leap isn't a metaphor, it's a real phenomenon. And in the next section, we'll go even deeper into how consciousness is the master architect of everything you see, feel, and experience. But first, let's pause and reflect. If you are truly the creator of your reality, what changes would you make right now? What thoughts would you eliminate? What emotions would you nurture? because the moment you become aware of your role as the observer, the shift begins. Instantly. The fabric of reality, consciousness as the master architect. If you've ever felt like reality is more fluid than it appears, you're not alone. For centuries, spiritual traditions have claimed that the material world is an illusion, that what we perceive as solid is nothing more than energy vibrating at different frequencies. Now, quantum physics is confirming this ancient wisdom. At the core of quantum mechanics is a simple but mind-boggling truth. Matter does not exist in a definite state until it is observed. The famous double-slit experiment proved this beyond doubt. When scientists fired particles through two slits without observing them, they behaved like waves, existing in multiple places at once. But the moment they were measured, they collapsed into a single position, as if reality itself was waiting for consciousness to define it. This discovery shatters the traditional view that the universe is an independent, objective entity. Instead, it suggests that consciousness is fundamental, that observation itself brings the world into being. This aligns perfectly with the teachings of the Upanishads, which state, "You are what your deep, driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny." Carl Jung, the great psychologist, had a similar revelation when he introduced the concept of the collective unconscious, a vast, shared field of information that connects all minds. This idea bears a striking resemblance to quantum entanglement, where particles become inseparably linked no matter how far apart they are. What happens to one affects the other instantly, even across galaxies. This suggests that we, too, are energetically connected at a level beyond physical reality. But if reality is shaped by consciousness, what determines which version of reality you experience? This is where the power of focus, belief, and expectation comes in. Every thought you have is a frequency that interacts with the quantum field, influencing what materializes in your world. Robert Lanza's book, Biocentrism: How Life and Consciousness Are the Keys to Understanding the Universe, takes this even further, arguing that consciousness is not a byproduct of the universe. The universe itself arises from consciousness. This means that the material world, time, and even space are secondary to the mind that perceives them. If this is true, then your ability to shape reality is far greater than you've ever imagined. So let's consider something profound. If observation shapes reality, what happens when you start deliberately observing your life through a new lens? What if you shifted your focus from fear to possibility, from lack to abundance, from limitation to infinite potential? The moment you do, reality must respond in kind. And that brings us to the next crucial piece of this puzzle: how your thoughts don't just passively reflect reality, but actively shape it. The power of thought, how mental frequencies shape matter. If reality is shaped by consciousness, then the question becomes, what are you broadcasting into the quantum field? Because whether you realize it or not, your mind is a frequency transmitter, constantly sending out signals that shape the world around you. Dr. Masaru Emoto's water experiments provide one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for this. He found that when water was exposed to loving words, gratitude, and positive intentions, its molecular structure formed beautiful, symmetrical crystals. But when exposed to negativity, fear, and hatred, the crystals became chaotic and disordered. If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what they are doing to your body, given that you are over 70% water. Ancient Vedic teachings have long spoken about the power of sound and vibration. Mantras, for instance, are not just words. They are energy patterns that alter the vibrational field. The Sanskrit phrase Aham Brahmasmi means, I am the universe, reminding us that the observer and the observed are one. When spoken with intent, such phrases reinforce the quantum reality that you are not separate from the energy that forms your world. But the science goes even further. Neuroscientists have discovered that beliefs physically rewire the brain. This process, known as neuroplasticity, proves that your thoughts and expectations create actual changes in your neural pathways. This means that the story you tell yourself about who you are, what you deserve, and what is possible literally reshapes your reality. Joseph Murphy, in The Hidden Power of Your Subconscious Mind, explains that your subconscious does not differentiate between imagination and reality. It simply accepts what you repeatedly impress upon it. This is why visualization is so powerful. Olympic athletes, for example, train not just by physically practicing, but by mentally rehearsing their performances. Brain scans reveal that the same neurons fire when an athlete imagines running a race as when they physically do it. This means that if you want to change your external world, you must first change the internal frequencies you emit. Your dominant emotions and thoughts act as instructions to the quantum field, shaping your experience in ways you may not even realize. Think about it. How often do you tell yourself the same limiting story? I'm not good enough. Money is hard to come by. Love never works out for me. These are not just thoughts. They are energetic instructions. And the quantum field, like a mirror, reflects them back as your lived reality. But the moment you become aware of this process, you gain the power to change it. Instead of reacting to life, you can start consciously creating it. And that's exactly what the next section is about, how the very act of observation determines what becomes real. Quantum mechanics and the role of the observer. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success effortlessly while others struggle? Why do certain individuals heal from illness while others deteriorate? Why does reality seem to bend for some but remain rigid for others? The answer lies in the role of the observer. Quantum mechanics tells us that nothing exists in a definite state until it is observed. Schrödinger's cat thought experiment illustrates this paradox perfectly. Imagine a cat inside a box with a vial of poison that may or may not break, depending on a quantum event. Until you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead simultaneously, existing in a superposition of both states. Only when you observe it does it settle into one reality. What does this mean for you? It means that every possibility for your life already exists in the quantum field. Wealth and poverty, health and illness, success and failure. They all coexist as potential states until you observe a particular reality by focusing on it with intention. Buddhist teachings have long emphasized the power of mindfulness, which is in essence the practice of becoming a conscious observer. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from external circumstances, but from how we perceive them. In quantum terms, this means that shifting your focus can shift your reality. Dawson Church, in his book Mind to Matter, reveals how thoughts can create physical changes in the brain and body. Studies show that focused attention activates specific neural circuits, rewiring the brain and even influencing gene expression. This means that the more you focus on a particular reality, the more you collapse it into existence. So here's something to consider. What are you habitually observing in your life? Are you constantly focusing on what's missing what's wrong, or what you fear. If so, you're reinforcing that version of reality. But if you start deliberately observing opportunities, gratitude, and abundance, reality will shift accordingly. And this brings us to one of the most powerful forces in the quantum field: emotion. Because while thought directs energy, emotion fuels it. In the next part, we'll explore how your feelings generate vibrational frequencies that attract specific experiences into your life. The emotion code, energy vibrations, and the law of attraction. If thought is the architect of reality, then emotion is the fuel that brings it to life. You may have heard that like attracts like, but what this really means is that the frequency you emit determines what you experience in return. Every thought has a vibrational charge, but it is your emotions that amplify that energy and send it out into the quantum field. Science confirms this. The HeartMath Institute, a pioneering research organization, has discovered that the human heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the body, 5,000 times more powerful than the brain's magnetic field. More importantly, this field shifts dramatically based on your emotional state. Feelings of love, gratitude, and joy create coherence, an ordered, harmonious pattern that radiates outwards and influences not just your own biology, but the environment around you. Conversely, emotions like fear, anger, and stress create chaos, disrupting your energy field and attracting more of the same disruptive experiences into your life. Ancient spiritual traditions have always known this. The Vedic concept of Nada Brahma translates to "the universe is sound," implying that everything, including your emotions, is a vibration. The idea that chanting mantras, practicing affirmations, or simply feeling gratitude can shift reality is not just superstition. It is a profound recognition of how frequency interacts with the quantum field. Even in Islamic spirituality, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught the power of gratitude, stating, "He who does not thank people does not thank God." This aligns perfectly with what researchers are now discovering. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states a person can experience. In fact, studies show that gratitude has measurable effects on brain chemistry, increasing dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitters that elevate consciousness and attract positive experiences. But here's the crucial part. The universe does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to the frequency you emit. If you affirm wealth but feel scarcity, you will manifest more lack. If you visualize love but carry unhealed wounds, you will attract relationships that mirror that pain. Greg Braden, in The Divine Matrix, explains that the heart acts as a transmitter, broadcasting your emotional state into the field. This means that to create real change, you must do more than just think differently, you must feel differently. This is why people who practice manifestation techniques sometimes fail to see results. They repeat affirmations, but don't truly believe them. They meditate on abundance while secretly feeling desperate for money. But the quantum field does not respond to empty words. It responds to genuine energy alignment. So how do you shift your vibrational state? The fastest way is through gratitude. Try this. Every night before you sleep, recall 3 things you are truly grateful for. Not just intellectually, but emotionally. Feel the warmth of appreciation in your heart. This simple practice rewires the brain, raises your frequency, and starts shifting reality in powerful ways. In the next section, we'll go even deeper into the mechanics of the quantum field, how the universe itself is structured in ways that align with ancient spiritual teachings, and how you can tap into this hidden matrix to reshape your destiny. The universal blueprint, decoding the quantum field. Imagine if the entire universe was a vast interconnected web of information, a hologram where every part contains the whole. This idea isn't science fiction. It's known as the holographic universe theory, and it has profound implications for how you interact with reality. Physicist David Bohm, a pioneer in quantum mechanics, proposed that the visible universe is just a projection of a deeper, hidden reality, much like a hologram. If you cut a holographic image in half, each piece still contains the entire original image. This suggests that every part of the universe carries the blueprint of the whole, meaning that you too contain the entire cosmos within you. This concept is reflected in ancient spiritual texts. The Bhagavad Gita, for instance, states, "The entire universe exists within you." The Gnostic Gospel of Thomas echoes this idea, saying, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." These teachings suggest that the answers you seek are not outside of you, but embedded in your very consciousness. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest scientific minds of all time, understood this concept deeply. He once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Tesla believed that the universe operates on specific energetic patterns, and those who understand these patterns can tap into an unlimited source of power, creativity, and manifestation. So how do you apply this to your life? The key is alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions resonate with the energy of what you desire, you tune in to that version of reality, much like a radio tuning into a specific frequency. This is why some people experience effortless success while others struggle. Their internal blueprint is either aligned or misaligned with their external goals. Michael Talbot, in the holographic universe, suggests that your mind acts as a frequency decoder, selecting which version of reality you experience. If you constantly focus on limitation, your brain literally filters out opportunities that contradict that belief. But the moment you shift your internal state, you start noticing new possibilities that were always there, but invisible to your previous perception. Think of your mind as a flashlight in a dark room. Whatever you focus on becomes illuminated, while everything else remains unseen. But the truth is, all possibilities exist simultaneously. You simply haven't observed them yet. And this leads us to one of the most fascinating aspects of quantum reality, the illusion of time itself. Because if the past, present, and future all exist at once, then rewriting your story might not just be possible, it might be the key to instant transformation. Time is an illusion. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. Most people assume time moves in a straight line, from past to present to future. But quantum physics suggests otherwise. Einstein's theory of relativity proved that time is not absolute but flexible, influenced by gravity and motion. This means that the past and future exist simultaneously, depending on the observer's perspective. Think about déjà vu, those strange moments when you feel like you've lived something before. Or synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem to defy logic. Could these be glimpses into the interconnected nature of time? The Tao Te Ching, written over 2,500 years ago, hints at this mystery. Time is a created thing. To say, "I don't have time," is like saying, "I don't want to." This suggests that time is not something that happens to you. It is something you engage with, much like reality itself. William Buhlman, in Adventures Beyond the Body, describes how near-death experiences and astral projections reveal that time is merely a construct of the mind. Many people who have had out-of-body experiences report that past and future events appear simultaneously, reinforcing the idea that linear time is an illusion. This means that the future you desire already exists, not as a distant possibility, but as a parallel reality waiting to be activated. The key to shifting timelines: your decisions and emotional alignment. Every choice you make is like tuning into a different station on the radio. Change the frequency and you change the broadcast. So here's something to consider. If time is flexible, then why wait for change? If a version of you already exists that has what you desire, what's stopping you from stepping into that identity right now? In the next section, we'll explore how spiritual leaders throughout history have used this understanding to bend reality and create instant shifts, and how you can do the same. The quantum shift, bending reality with your mind. What if the greatest spiritual teachers, mystics, and enlightened beings throughout history weren't performing miracles, but simply applying the hidden laws of quantum reality? What if walking on water, healing the sick, or manifesting abundance weren't supernatural feats, but natural abilities rooted in consciousness, frequency, and belief? The idea that reality bends according to your mind is not new. In fact, it has been at the core of spiritual teachings for thousands of years. Neville Goddard, a modern-day mystic, taught a powerful concept called living in the end. He believed that the key to manifestation was assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not just thinking about it, but embodying it as if it were already real. This aligns perfectly with quantum mechanics, where the observer collapses a particular reality into existence by focusing on it. Consider this: your subconscious mind does not differentiate between real and imagined experiences. Studies have shown that when you visualize something vividly, your brain fires the same neurons as if you were actually experiencing it. This is why elite athletes mentally rehearse their performances before competing. They are quite literally rewiring their brains to match their desired outcome. Joseph Murphy, in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, explains that your external world is nothing but a reflection of your internal state. The reason most people struggle to create change is that they attempt to do so from the outside in. But quantum physics shows us that change happens from the inside out. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are in frequency alignment with. This brings us to a crucial understanding. You do not have to wait for external proof to believe something is true. You must first embody the state internally, and reality will follow. Let's take an example. Imagine two people applying for the same job. One walks in doubting themselves, uncertain, hoping they will be chosen. The other walks in with an unshakable certainty that the job is already theirs, not from arrogance, but from a deep subconscious belief in their worthiness. Who do you think the hiring manager will be drawn to? Energy speaks louder than words. This is where many people sabotage themselves. They say, "I'll believe it when I see it." But the universe operates on the opposite principle. You will see it when you believe it. Spiritual texts have echoed this truth for centuries. The Bible states, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." Mark 11:24. The Quran teaches that God responds to those who have certainty in their hearts. The Bhagavad Gita declares, "Man is made by his belief. As he believes, so he is." If quantum mechanics tells us that all possibilities exist simultaneously, then your belief system acts as the selector. choosing which version of reality you experience. This is why those who expect miracles often experience them, while those who expect struggle continue to face obstacles. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Your subconscious mind doesn't just affect your own reality, it influences the reality of others as well. This has been demonstrated in scientific experiments, where the intention of one person has measurable effects on another, even at a distance. This is why spiritual healers, monks, and mystics have been able to influence the physical world through prayer, energy work, and meditation. So here's the question. If reality is shaped by how you observe it, what reality are you observing? Are you living from a mindset of lack, fear, and limitation? Or are you aligning with abundance, certainty, and infinite possibility? Because the moment you shift your internal world, your external world has no choice but to follow. And this is the secret behind quantum healing. How people throughout history have reversed illnesses, defied medical diagnoses, and experienced seemingly impossible recoveries. Healing with quantum energy, the science of spontaneous recovery. We've been taught to believe that healing is a slow, linear process, that the body takes time to repair, that diseases follow predictable timelines, and that recovery is a matter of luck or medical intervention. But what if healing could happen instantly? There are countless documented cases of spontaneous remission where people with terminal illnesses suddenly and inexplicably recover. Medical science struggles to explain these occurrences, but quantum physics offers a groundbreaking perspective. The body is not solid matter. It is energy and information responding to consciousness. Dr. Joe Dispenza in You Are the Placebo presents scientific evidence that the mind alone can trigger biochemical changes that heal the body. He shares the story of how he personally healed his own spine after a severe accident, not through surgery, but through focused mental imagery, deep meditation, and unwavering belief. This aligns with the placebo effect, a well-documented phenomenon where patients heal simply because they believe they are receiving treatment, even when the treatment is fake. But if belief alone can activate healing, then what else is possible? Ancient healing traditions have long worked with energy fields rather than physical matter. Tibetan monks practiced Tummo meditation, generating so much internal heat that they can melt snow around them. Qigong masters manipulate life force energy, qi, to promote healing. Yogic traditions speak of chakras, energy centers that regulate the body's well-being. These are not superstitions. They are descriptions of how energy flows through the quantum field. Modern science now confirms that the human body emits bioelectromagnetic fields that change depending on emotional states. The HeartMath Institute has measured how different emotional frequencies create coherence or disorder in the body's energy system. The state of love and gratitude produces measurable healing effects, while states of stress and fear disrupt cellular function. If thoughts and emotions can influence water molecules, as seen in Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiments, imagine what they do to your own body. When you are in a low vibrational state, your energy field weakens, making you more susceptible to disease. But when you elevate your vibration through meditation, gratitude, and intention, you activate the body's innate intelligence to heal itself. The Taoist masters have long taught that disease is not something that happens to you. It is a result of energetic misalignment. This means that rather than fighting illness externally, true healing comes from realigning your internal frequency. So here's the powerful takeaway. Your body is not a victim of random biological processes. It is a quantum system responding to your consciousness. Healing doesn't have to take years. Change your frequency, and the shift can happen instantly. And that brings us to the next yet powerful realization of this journey. The moment you recognize yourself as the creator of your reality, you break free from limitations forever. The quantum leap: how to break through limitations instantly. If you've made it this far, something inside you already knows the truth. Reality is not fixed. You have the power to shift instantly. The biggest illusion people believe is that change takes time. But quantum mechanics proves that time is not linear. It is a construct of the mind. This means that the version of you who has already succeeded, healed, and awakened already exists. You don't have to become that person. You simply have to align with that frequency. Frederick Dodson, in Parallel Universes of Self, explains that every decision you make shifts you into a parallel reality. If you believe change is hard, you will experience a reality where change is hard. But if you decide right now that transformation is immediate, you step into that truth. So here's the challenge. What reality will you choose to step into? What limiting beliefs will you leave behind? Because the moment you fully embrace your power, the shift happens instantly. Unlocking the divine matrix: how to rewire reality for abundance. Imagine for a moment that the entire universe is a living, breathing, intelligent field of energy, a divine matrix that responds directly to your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. This is not just a mystical idea. It is a principle deeply rooted in quantum physics, ancient spirituality, and modern research on consciousness. Greg Braden, in The Divine Matrix, presents compelling evidence that everything in existence is connected through an invisible field of energy. He explains that this field is not passive, it is interactive. It mirrors your inner state and reflects it back as your external reality. This means that the conditions of your life are not random. They are precise reflections of the energy you emit. This idea aligns with the most profound teachings from spiritual traditions across the world. The Vedas describe the universe as a field of interconnected consciousness, where every thought sends ripples through the cosmic fabric. The Bible states, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Proverbs 23:7. The Quran declares that God does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. 13:11. These teachings suggest a staggering truth. Your outer world is nothing more than a projection of your inner world. Change your inner world, and the external shifts effortlessly. Recent experiments in quantum cognition show that your brain interacts with the quantum field in real time. This means that the more you focus on a particular thought or emotion, the more the quantum field organizes reality around that frequency. Take money, for example. Many people struggle with financial abundance not because money is scarce, but because they subconsciously emit the frequency of lack. They focus on debt, worry about expenses, and fear not having enough, unknowingly reinforcing that reality. But those who vibrate at the frequency of abundance, who genuinely feel wealthy, grateful, and open to receiving, naturally attract opportunities, ideas, and people that align with wealth. This principle applies to every area of life: health, relationships, success, spiritual awakening. You are constantly co-creating with the universe, whether consciously or unconsciously. The key is to take control of this process and align yourself with the highest possible timeline. Now, if you're ready to step into limitless abundance, success, and fulfillment, here's how to rewire your reality using quantum principles. Reprogram your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind runs 95% of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. If you hold limiting beliefs, they will shape your reality automatically. Use affirmations, hypnosis, and subliminal programming to replace limiting patterns with empowering beliefs. Use heart-brain coherence. The HeartMath Institute found that the heart's electromagnetic field is 100 times stronger than the brain's. When you cultivate feelings of gratitude, love, and joy, your heart and brain enter a state of coherence, amplifying your ability to influence reality. Visualize and embody the end result. Instead of waiting for evidence, feel as if you have already received what you desire. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in the emotions of success, love, health, or wealth. The more vividly you experience it, the faster the quantum field will mirror that frequency. Detach and surrender. Quantum physics shows that when you try to force an outcome, you collapse its potential. Instead of obsessing over how things will happen, focus on the feeling of already having it, then let go. Trust the field to arrange the details. Align your actions with your new identity. Your external behavior must match your internal shift. If you are manifesting financial freedom, but your daily actions reflect scarcity, you create energetic contradictions. Align your habits, mindset, and decisions with your desired frequency. Once you begin applying these principles, you'll notice an increase in synchronicities, those seemingly random events that feel divinely orchestrated. You might think of someone, and they suddenly call you. You might desire an opportunity, and a door unexpectedly opens. These are not coincidences. They are proof that you are in alignment with the quantum flow. When you raise your frequency, the universe rearranges itself to match your new state of being. At this very moment, the divine matrix is responding to you. It is reflecting back the sum total of your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and expectations. The question is, are you consciously choosing what you are creating? Or are you allowing old programs to dictate your reality? Because the instant you take control of this process, the shift happens. And that brings us to the ultimate realization. You are not a passive observer of the universe. You are its creator. The grand realization. You are the creator of your universe. If you've made it this far, something inside you already knows the truth. Reality is not something that happens to you. It is something you are constantly shaping. You are not separate from the universe. You are an extension of it. The greatest illusion of all is that we are powerless, that we are victims of circumstance, that life is a series of random events outside our control. But quantum mechanics, ancient spiritual wisdom, and modern consciousness research all confirm the same reality. You are the cause, not the effect. The Kybalion, an ancient Hermetic text, states, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." The Buddha taught, "What you think, you become." The Quran tells us, "Verily with hardship comes ease," implying that our perception of difficulty is just one side of the infinite possibilities available to us. What does this mean for you? It means that the version of yourself that is wealthy, successful, happy, enlightened, already exists. It is not in the future. It is in the quantum now, waiting for you to observe it into existence. This is why spiritual masters like Jesus, Buddha, and Rumi all taught the same fundamental principle. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Reality is not something you chase. It is something you create from the inside out. So now, You stand at the crossroads of possibility. Will you continue to observe reality passively, allowing old patterns and unconscious programming to shape your life? Or will you take full control of your energy, beliefs, and emotions, consciously designing your highest reality? Because the moment you truly realize your power, everything shifts instantly. Now that you understand the quantum law, how will you use it? What will you choose to create? You are not here by accident. Something within you is awakening. You are beginning to see that you are not limited by your past, your circumstances, or even time itself. The universe is a mirror, and it is asking you one simple question. Now, what reality will you choose to create next? The Source Field Investigations by David Wilcock explores how consciousness influences matter and how human intention shapes the physical world. If you want to go deeper into the scientific proof of the quantum law, this book is a must-read. This is not just knowledge, it is a wake-up call to your infinite power. Now go out there and create something extraordinary. The universe is already listening.